Hey everyone, my name is Cedric Whitney from the School of Information at UC Berkeley. I'm going to be talking about our paper, HCI Tactics for Politics from Below. This work was done as a collaboration with my colleagues in the Feminist Labor Lab and at the Design Lab at UC San Diego. Teresa Naval, Elizabeth Quepons, Simrandeep Singh, Stephen Rick, and Lilly Irani. As crucial public functions are transferred to computer systems, emerging technologies have public implications, often shaped beyond public influence and oversight. We focus on struggles over the acquisition, control, and maintenance of these public digital infrastructures. HCI research on civic participation has included developing design practices, such as participatory design, and our contribution is to look beyond design towards direct action and towards refusals, policy, and accountability, all as a means to empower people to shape these technologies. We focus on the forms of HCI knowledge and practice that proved useful to a coalition of community organizations claiming rights of input into and political oversight over surveillance technology, shaping real-world technologies from below. Their claims are a response to their exclusion from top-down decision-making about smart city implementation in San Diego. Smart city technologies, often sold with the promise of convenience and energy savings, come with less public pitches that also bring intensified law enforcement. In San Diego, the city quietly launched a project that placed over 3,000 streetlights equipped with cameras, microphones, and object detection algorithms, overseeing residents and visitors. These streetlights formed an ever-present surveillance infrastructure, blanketing San Diego. By late 2019, 30 community groups formed a coalition and engaged in direct action to learn more about the program, and to demand community input and elected official oversight over this and future surveillance-related projects in the city. The authors of this paper participated in work to support, responding to needs that arose as we could. To assist in assembling a collective understanding of the streetlight technology, we parsed the contract and other FOIA communications between the city and GE. We discovered that while the city retained ownership of the original data, this was a moot point from a privacy and usability perspective. GE could, by the contract, make copies of the data, store that copy while processing it, and retain rights to then use that data as it pleased. The language in city white papers also reflected a focus on generating value from the surveillance rather than any focus on community needs. These close readings assisted in challenging the city's claims. We found ourselves often telling stories about what the streetlight technology could do in the future when speaking to residents, journalists, and to city council staff. We engaged in a more standard HCI and design practice, one we called a slightly dystopian hackathon, to demonstrate rather than narrate harmful use. After discussing worst-case scenarios with the coalition, we generated this demo. We saved a week's worth of historical data from the city's real-time API access, and then plotted individual pedestrians on a map of San Diego. We used historical data, but the real-time data access the city provided was demonstrated as a major source of concern. In this process of imagining and building, we discovered that just a handful of the over 3,000 streetlight cameras actually reported any pedestrian data, less than 0.5% of all the cameras. The greatest impact of our demo creation was, as it turned out, not the demo at all, but our discovery that the cameras were not even reporting data for non-surveillance uses, namely the mobility and planning data the city had promised for entrepreneurial usage. We refocused to help the coalition as they attempted to successfully politicize this useful insight. As we made this discovery, the council was about to revise the budget in response to COVID-19 budgetary shortfalls, and the coalition saw an opportunity to defund the streetlights based on our findings. We were urgently requested to create a report, and we also shared our findings with a local investigative journalist. The following news story and our report lent force and legitimacy to the coalition's challenge. From the days of the budget hearing, several city council members cited the camera data failures and our report as one reason to reconsider the city budget for the program. In our paper, we pull from this experience and present a set of tactics for how we, as HCI researchers, can continue to center community organizing to build power of technology when power has not been given. Our HCI knowledge contributed to this community struggle for democratic control in ways that went beyond design, user studies, or systems building. HCI ways of knowing were helpful as the coalition tried to interpret technological specifications and contracts, imagine probable harms to communities, and counter mistaken or misleading city claims about the technology. In so doing, HCI knowledge was integrated with other communities' knowledge in a fight for dignity in relation to technology when design is neither possible, nor desirable, nor enough. If the purpose of HCI is to make technology good for people, our field must expand its view of how it works to engage with political institutions, as well as the political nature of visions of technological good. This paper offers counter practices that encourage both while building power from below.